Wild Katie appeared, and today for you, I am doing My Hero Academia Season 4 impressions, and maybe some predictions, we'll see. But yeah, so I think by now, if you've been on this channel for a while, you can kind of tell that I am a big fan of My Hero Academia. It's probably right now one of my favorite current animes at the moment. I mean, you can kind of tell because I cosplay Deku a lot. I got Deku in the background here, and yeah, so to be honest, I've been wanting to do like more videos on My Hero Academia, especially talking about the seasons, but my worry has always been that obviously My Hero Academia started off as a manga, and it's obviously way ahead of where we are now, and of course I have not read, well, I do read the manga, but at the moment I'm still really only reading this. I'm only on volume 8 at the moment, and hold on, and at the moment I am just at the bit where Deku meets Shigaraki, so, well, for the first time anyways, so yeah, I'm only at that part in the manga, even though obviously I probably could just skip to where I need to be, but I like to get the full story just in case there's some stuff I missed, because I also noticed that in the manga sometimes the creator puts little notes about the characters, which I quite like, so yeah. So that's how far I am in the manga. Hopefully I'll be more into it soon, but right now, manga readers, if you're watching this, don't you dare spoil. But yeah, so I wanted to make a video about my thoughts about the first 3 episodes of season 4 as of this recording of this video are out. But yeah, and also I know for some strange reason we are not getting episode 4 until next month, because apparently they're taking a break, even though it's just the start of a new season, but that's not the point. But yeah, so I'll talk to you about my thoughts on the 3 episodes, and then might do some predictions. So yeah, so the first episode was a recap, which at first I thought we weren't gonna get a recap episode, because when people got to see like the first episode of My Hero Academia, like obviously they couldn't say much about it, but they did say it was emotional, and just really funny and just stuff like that. So a lot of people were not expecting to get a recap episode, but fortunately we did. But to be honest, this recap episode, I have to say it was actually pretty good, because normally when animes do like the recap episode, usually my face is like, ugh, because yeah, I'm not usually a big fan of recap episodes, because a lot of times it's like, yo, you don't think that I don't know these characters, that I cherish these characters, maybe don't like some of these characters, like I know the drill, I know what's going on, and I know some people are saying it's for people who are maybe hopping on to season 4. If you're doing that, don't. Go back to season 1 and make your way through. But yeah, so but to be fair, this episode was actually pretty good. Like, especially for a recap episode, like it didn't feel too jarring. Like we didn't get that many here's what this character is. Like we did obviously get like a rundown of who everyone in Class 1A's quirks are, even though I pretty much know all that. But yeah, so although I will say the highlight of this episode was, now I can't remember this dude's name, but it's the reporter guy who was the journalist trying to obviously find out who the successor of All Might is, and obviously he kind of figured it was Deku, because to be honest, like I don't know how nobody else has figured it out that Deku is probably going to be like the successor, because like Deku and All Might hang around each other like all the time, like in public places, so it's like, and it's not like you see All Might have a one-to-one with all the Class 1A students. Like he's talked with Bakugo and stuff like that, and but yeah, it's like, how does nobody figure this out? But but I will say though, the journalist guy's quirk is pretty freaking amazing. Like the fact that he can basically have any camera come out of his body is really, really cool. A little fact about the first episode of My Hero Academia was I actually went to sort of a premiere night thing Basically, Henry Wu, if you may or may not know who that is, he set up like this sort of premiere night at this sort of gaming bar called Summoners in Glasgow, where we all went, cosplayed My Hero Academia characters. We watched the first 3 episodes of the last 3 episodes of season 3, and then obviously we watched the premiere of the first episode, which I think, I've always dreamed about doing something like that, just a bunch of people getting together who are big fans of the anime or maybe said TV show, and just sit down and watch it together, because then you can get everybody's reactions, and it was really, really fun. I was going to film at the event, but I forget. Whoops. But you can check it out, like the whole reaction stuff on Henry Wu's channel. I will put links in the description if you want to check that out. You can see me in the background as Deku, of course. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and I know Henry said he's hoping to maybe do that for the finale, whenever the finale will come out, because I don't think we know how many episodes we're getting this season that I know of. But yes, so hopefully maybe do that again, and maybe this time I will film it. We'll see. But yeah, all in all, I have to say I would maybe give at least the first episode probably an A, just because the fact that this recap episode was actually really good, which I never thought I would say about a recap episode, because normally recap episodes are and not so great. But yeah, and I really like the journalist character. I don't think we're gonna see him again. I saw a lot of people who were saying, oh, it'd be interesting if he came back, but I don't know if he will, because he seems to be an anime only character, because he wasn't in the manga, obviously. Unless they could have him be in the background at times, or maybe just appear when there's things going on. And he did say he was gonna write a book about Deku, so yeah. So it will be interesting to see if we ever see him again. But yeah, so first episode, solid. Alright, now let's get to episode 2, which was titled Overhaul. So yeah, so this obviously is the episode where we get to meet our big bad, who is obviously Overhaul. And my god, this dude he's an interesting villain, I have to say. I will say I like the idea of the fact they talk about how basically organized crime isn't really a thing anymore, because obviously there's heroes, so there's not really anything that are Yakuza anymore. But the fact that Overhaul obviously came from a Yakuza family and stuff like that, it's very interesting how they're doing that. Especially because that would make sense that obviously organized crime is not a thing, because heroes and all that. It's more, dealing with villains more than anything nowadays. But yeah, but the whole meeting with Overhaul and obviously the League of Villains was definitely interesting. Basically, Overhaul, kind of calling out Shigaraki about not really having a plan. It's like, you are getting all of these villains and that, but you've not really got a plan. You've lost people and blah blah blah. So yeah. And obviously I have to say, just showing how powerful Overhaul is as a character, yeah, I know from what people have said about this arc is that it gets pretty dark, and honestly, yeah, I can see that happening, especially with a character like Overhaul. Ish, my god. And yeah, so again, manga readers, no spoilers, but it would be definitely interesting to see exactly how this character develops and just how all of this happens and stuff and all that. So yeah, that's definitely going to be an interesting arc, to say the least. And also, the fact that someone got killed, pretty much episode 2 is damn, we are serious, we are, no hold bars, people. People can die in a very graphic way. Yikes. Obviously not gonna show that because, but yeah. At the moment, I could not remember the villain who obviously died in that episode, because we never really got to see much of that character. He was more in the end of season 3, but editor Katie put his name down there so that you know that. But yeah. Although I will say Toka was ready to stab, like she was ready to cut someone. But Shigaraki was like, no, don't do that. This guy seems to be serious business. But Toka was like, I'm a cum, which, yeah. So, yeah, props to like Toga that she was literally going to try and cut him, but she probably would have died if she went for it. Although I do hear we get to, at some point, learn her backstory. I don't know if it'll be in this arc or the next arc. We'll see. But, yeah. So, alright. More talk about, obviously, overhaul. Then, obviously, we get more stuff because, obviously, now the 1A are doing their work study, which is kind of like the internship, except a little more extreme because they're actually, you know, going out and about and actually being like psychics to said heroes, like for their agencies and stuff. So it's going to be a bit more intense than obviously the obviously more than the internships. Obviously Deku struggles at first because he tries to see if he can get Gran Torino to obviously sign him up, but Gran Torino's obviously got his own stuff to do, so obviously he can't. And obviously struggles, but then figures that, ooh, what about All Might's old psychic, Night Eye? And so obviously he goes and he tells this to All Might, and All Might's, you know, at first a little hesitant about it, because obviously there seems to be some kind of like past between them, and like he's not sure, but then he gets the talk of, okay, what's his name again? Nero? I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure. It takes me a while to sometimes learn people's names because I'm awful at pronouncing names. Like, you need to, like, probably say it a bunch of times for me to actually pronounce it. But, you know, this guy. The guy that pretty much gets naked all the time. But, yeah. Honestly, I will have to say that I really love the kind of friendship that seems to be bonding between him and Deku. Because, like, my fear was with him was that he was going to be maybe not as nice as he first started. Like, because you usually sometimes get those characters that seem, oh, nicey, and, you know, really kind, but then when they're alone with the main protagonist, they're kind of like really mean and nasty. Luckily, not with this guy. He seems to be pretty much 100% genuine, and he really wants to help out Deku, since obviously he had a work study with Night Eye anyways. And yeah, and I love the fact that he asked Deku like why he wants to be a hero, and it's kind of like Deku's answer kind of changed, but it's still the way Deku wants to be a hero. You know, he wants, you know, his smile to be the reason why people, you know, are like All Might, like his smile will just let people know that they are safe and that there's no need to worry. He just wants to help people, and again, that's just Deku in a nutshell. That's why he always wanted to be a hero. It was never for like selfish reasons, for, you know, like I know Ochako wants to get money, but for her at least it's, you know, to help her family. But, you know, there's other people who are just doing it for the glory, or just the fame, or just wants money for selfish reasons. But yeah, so again, that's one of the things with Deku, because he seems to be quite a rare sort of superhero in this kind of world where he just wants to help people. And you want, because a lot of times if someone wants to be the #1 hero, it's because obviously they want the fame and the glory, but Deku wants to be the #1 hero because he wants to be the reason that he knows that people are safe because of him, like the symbol of peace, just like All Might, which again, that's one of the great things about Deku's character. But yeah, so having that whole conversation obviously on the couch, and then obviously he, like, Miro, I think that's how you pronounce it, says, oh yeah, you can come talk with us. So obviously the episode's like near the end, and basically they go up to the agency where Night Eye is. They go to the agency, and Miro basically says to Deku, it's like, don't worry, everything should be fine. If you want, just make sure that you make him laugh. Which, when he said that, I was quite intrigued, because when I first, like, when we kind of saw, like, the little glimpse of Sir Night Eye in season 3, like, that was not exactly what I was expecting I'll talk more about that obviously in the next talk about the next episode. But for when he said make him laugh, I was like, huh, interesting. You gotta make him laugh. He likes to laugh. Interesting. Not exactly what I thought the character would be. Although Bubble Girl, she's interesting. Like, I know she was like a fan created her. Like, there was like a contest and a fan drew her, which I can kind of get why. But yeah, she seems interesting. We'll see if there's any like, if she's going to have any importance or she's just kind of just there. We don't know. Although that Deco machine was really something. But yeah, so obviously the episode ends with Deku's like, right, I need to try and make this guy laugh. And he's like, alright, I will do my All Might impression. And he tries to do it, and of course he does the face. And Sir Night-Eye doesn't look quite happy about that. He's like, are you making fun of All Might? Because we do see that, because I thought like Sir Night-Eye was going to be like someone who despises All Might, like, you know, he used to be psychic and then something happened and then he was like, you know, I don't like you anymore. But no, he a fanboy. Sir Night-Eye is a big fanboy, like nearly as big as Deku. I don't know if he's probably the same level as Deku. But yeah, so obviously that episode ends with just like, uh-oh. And then obviously we go into the next episode, which is Boy Meets World? I don't know, but yeah, so obviously we get to see it continue on, and then we get to see that, you know, Sir Night-Eye was not happy with the impression because it wasn't all right, like he said the wrinkles weren't quite there, and yeah, but then pretty much, which they basically, Deku and Sir Night-Eye basically end up having a fanboy off, and honestly that was such like amazing, just to show how much of a fanboy that Deku still is, even though after obviously knowing All Might for like as long as he has, pretty much it's nearly probably been like a few, it's weird because even though My Hero Academia like started quite a while back, like 3 years ago or something, like it's still class 1A, it's not like class 2A or anything like that, so it's kind of like, how many months has it been? Like 9, 8? I'm not sure. Like it's not been a year obviously, because obviously then they'd be in the next year of the class, which I find interesting. Although like, okay, I have a question for you manga readers, just if you're watching this, only let me know this. Have they, in the manga, gone up a year? Like, have they, like, are they now 2A now, or are they just still 1A in the manga? Like, just answer me that, because obviously I don't want to look it up just in case of spoilers, but let me know if they've actually, you know, gone up a class in the manga yet, or they are still pretty much first years. But, yeah, anyways. So, yeah, so obviously we see that Sir Night-Eye is a huge All Might fanboy, and then him and Deku just talking about, like, you know, certain, like, TV specials that were, like, only aired once, and, like, you know, stuff like that, and talking about that. And then, of course, we get that scene where Sir Night-Eye is basically like he doesn't think Deku is right, because he doesn't think Deku deserves getting one for all, because he thinks obviously Mira is obviously the one to get it, which I cannot kind of understand, because to be honest, when I first saw him, like, I thought that Mira would have been probably the successor if All Might didn't find Deku before. But yeah, so obviously they do the whole like trial to try and see if Deku is worthy. So then we learn that Sir Night-Eye's quirk is foresight. So obviously all he needs to do is touch someone and basically like look at them, and then for the next hour he knows exactly what they're going to do next, so basically seeing into the future and stuff. So it is definitely an interesting quirk, a very OP quirk to say the least. But the way that it worked was like just Deku trying to work out exactly right. How can I trick him? Like if I go really, really fast, then maybe he can like, he wouldn't be able to process what the next like vision would be, so he won't be able to tell where I'll be. So obviously he did the Trantorino kind of tactic with being like zooming very, very fast. Even Sir Night Eye was like, oh, I see what you're doing there, but that's obviously not going to work. So I guess with him it's like quite rapid that he can see what Deku's about to do, so he doesn't need to like quite look at it, seeing what he's going to do. And like obviously, unfortunately, Deku does fail the test, which, oof, poor boy, but he still ends up getting the seal anyways, because Sir Night Eye also realized that, because obviously Deku didn't want to ruin any of the posters that Sir Night had of obviously All Might, because a lot of them are very rare posters. Especially he said that there was the 10th anniversary one that wasn't even sold in shops or anything. So yeah, so it's very, very interesting to me, like, but yes, so Sir Night Eye's like, okay, so this guy may have some kind of potential. Like, he understands that Deku is very clever. Like, that's the thing, Deku is a very clever person. Like, obviously before he got his quirk and stuff, he would like study heroes, he would like write everything down, like, and he was very good at calculating stuff. And that's one of the things about Deku is, yeah, he may like be really super strong now, but he still has a very like he's very, very smart, like too smart. Like the fact that he was able to make sure that he didn't step on any of the posters was quite clever. But then when he stamps the approval stuff, basically he does say, but the reason why I'm picking you is so that I can prove that you do not deserve All for One, and that somebody else should get it, which obviously thinks it's Miru who should get it. And obviously this makes Deku go, right, I'm going to prove to you that yes, I do deserve this. Which, again, Deku has, like, did doubt himself a bit, especially learning that somebody else was in the running for getting All for One. So yeah, that is going to be definitely very, very interesting. So he gets the stamp of approval, but he still needs to prove himself to Sir Night Eye. So that's going to be a definitely interesting dynamic. So I can't wait to see how that goes. And then like we get a scene of Deku back in the like dorms with everybody, and obviously they're talking about, you know, work studies, because a lot of the things Deku, like, it seems to be the only one who's gotten a work study. Like pretty much everybody else has not had the best luck trying to get it. But then Aizawa comes in and tells Tokiyami that Hawks wants him to be at his agency for the work study. And of course we learn that Hawks is the number 3 hero. So obviously that's very good. Like, that's really good that someone like Hawks wants to have Tokiyami. So I'm kind of hoping that means we're going to get to see a lot more of Tokiyami, because Tokiyami's definitely an interesting character and I'd like to see more about him. And also I can't wait to see this Hawks guy, because I've heard so many things about this. Well, not spoilery things, but I just know seems to be a fan favorite, and like I've seen what his design looks like, so I know what it looks like. But it would definitely be interesting to see like how this character is and why so many people obviously like this character. So definitely interesting to see. Hopefully maybe we'll get to meet Hawks in the next episode or something, I'm not sure yet, but definitely will be interesting. Also then we learned that Ochako, Kirishima, and I think there was somebody else, but I can't remember at this point. I need to look back. But they get called on the big 3. Well, the other 2, which at the moment, again, my brain has escaped me of what their names are. But pictures here, so obviously they are approached by them. So that's going to be interesting for that. And then obviously everybody else is still worrying about what's going on. But then obviously we kind of see in the background with Bakugo and Todoroki how obviously they realize, well, Todoroki's the one that kind of realizes, oh, we're kind of falling behind, because obviously we've not gotten our like licenses yet, because obviously we both failed that exam. Although that's going to be an interesting thing, because it seems like obviously they will be kind of working together this season, I guess to obviously get their license or something like that. So, and they're gonna have to probably spend a lot of time together, which that's gonna be interesting. Ooh, both angsty boys, like in like the same room for ages. That's gonna be interesting because obviously they're quite like they're both very different because obviously Bakugo is more, you know, very loud and like angry, really angry all the time and shouts whenever he can. And then Todoroki being the opposite. Well, Todoroki has his angry moments, like don't get me wrong. I mean, if your father was freaking Endeavor, you'd be angry too. But yeah, but he's obviously more stoic and more quiet. But he also kind of like, I kind of see that Todoroki sometimes likes to get on Bakugo's nerves, which is kind of hilarious. So that'll be an interesting dynamic. But yeah. And then obviously we get a little kind of sneak peek, a little end credit scene, which I don't think we really have gotten from My Hero Academia before, where we get to meet the little girl that basically is with Overhaul. I'm not sure what the relationship with him is, if like that's her dad or he's just kidnapped her, I'm not sure. I think her name's Ares, I think that's how you pronounce her name. We get to see her, like just a little glimpse of her just running away from Overhaul and obviously bumping into Deku. And of course when Deku sees Overhaul, he already knows because Sir Night Eye has already told them about Overhaul. Although it seems like we can't really do anything about it because obviously they're not to raise suspicion that they're obviously investigating him. So that's interesting. So yeah, so that's a little tease. I don't know if maybe the reason why we got that cliffhanger was obviously since we're getting like 2 weeks of no My Hero Academia, even though it just came back. But yeah, so that's definitely going to be interesting to see, learning more about this new character as well. Because I have also seen her everywhere, like she seems to be a fan favorite too, and from what I understand, she must be protected at all costs. So yeah. But anyways, alright guys, I'm gonna go into some slight predictions for what I feel like we're gonna get for season 4. Now again, I will remind manga readers, don't you dare, don't you do it, because I will, just don't move. Like again, answer my question, if they've gone up a year, that's fine, I just want to know, but anything else, no, don't you dare, don't you, like, tell me anything, like, nothing. Like maybe, hopefully, I will be caught up in the manga soon, maybe, we'll see, but, so yeah, manga readers, no. But anyways, I just want to make my predictions. Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong, and we're all good. But anyways, so now it'll definitely, for my predictions, I do think Sir Night Eye will warm up to Deku at one point, like to be like, okay, yes, this, I can see why All Might chose Deku, but it probably will take a bit. Like it's not gonna be easy, but he will come around eventually. Like, although I don't know if this is anybody else who figures this, but I feel like Sir Night Eye may die. Like, I don't know. I get this vibe that he has an OP quirk, and yeah, I just feel like he's not gonna last long. Or at least, maybe, I don't know, maybe die at end of season 4, I'm not sure. I just have a funny feeling he's gonna die. And it's going to be when he finally accepts Deku as the new symbol of peace. I just have that funny feeling something's gonna happen to him. Yeah. Also, they'll definitely be interested, because I'm sure obviously there's gonna be a moment where obviously All Might finally does meet up with Sir Night Eye and talk about obviously what's going on. Because it does seem that the reason why like they had a kind of falling out was pretty much Sir Night Eye was like, yo, All Might, if you keep going down this route, like you are going to lose everything. And yeah, so basically Sir Night Eye basically figured out what was going to happen to All Might, of which forced him to kind of retire. So yeah, I think it's pretty much to do with pride. That's why he's not going to go see Sir Night Eye, because he doesn't want to go up and, you know, realize, oh, he was right, whoops. But yeah, I think that's something to do with pride, that I would have to say that's the reason why there was the split and stuff like that. And like, he just didn't want to listen to Sir Night Eye saying that he's going to lose one day. So yeah, But yeah, also like with the new character Aerith, I think that's pronounced her name. Like, I feel like, well, obviously she's going to be a very interesting character. Like, she's obviously going to be, because we know she's very going to be involved with at least this arc as well, since we see her in the opening, her like in the like ending credits. So obviously she's very important. And I do feel like at the end of this season, I will want to protect this girl with my life because she is adorable. Like, and I feel like maybe like she's gonna become like sort of like a little sister to Deku. I think that's probably what's gonna happen. Like it's gonna be like Deku's basically going to have an adopted little sister probably by the end of this, which will be definitely interesting. And it'll be interesting to see what her quirk is too, because I do feel like she definitely probably has a quirk, and that's why obviously Overhaul is kept her. So yeah. Although there's one also thing I noticed in the opening. It does show quite a bit of Kirishima, so I'm like, is Kirishima going to be getting a big story arc in this season? Like, we see quite a bit of him in the opening, so that'll be interesting. I'm kind of hoping so, because like, Kirishima is definitely my second best boy. Like, obviously first best boy is Deku, but my second is Kirishima, because Kirishima, yes, I love Kirishima, he is amazing. So I'm hoping that he's going to get more kind of screen time, at least this season as well. I'd also, again, want to see more of Class 1A and see what they get up to, especially with their work studies, and seeing where they all end up. Because obviously I think all of them will definitely end up in a work study, well, except for Bakugo and Todoroki, because obviously they got to pass their exam first. It will definitely be an interesting thing that's going to happen. So yeah, I don't want to go too much else more into predictions, but that is what I have predictions for this time. But anyways, yes guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me down in the comments if you want me to do more of these kind of videos. Maybe I might, once the season has finished, I'll do a wrap, like a full review of season 4. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe for more fandom content than you can shake a stick at. And see ya, and also Plus Ultra.